You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live This Week, featuring news and commentary on This Week in Black Hollywood. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live This Week, Dario Kristen.
Woo! What's up, everybody? I'm not Dario Kristen, but I am in the house with my family anyway. I'm your host, Courtney Stewart, here on Black Hollywood Live This Week. Dario has run away somewhere to the Midwest to go see somebody's wedding, but we have a fabulous cast of characters to get all the juicy gossip and news of the week from at the table this week. First up, we got Miss Camila on the end of the table.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome, welcome. And we've got Miss Lolly joining us this week again.
Hey,
y'all remember her? She's been here before. We're going to get some good perspective. And, of course, beside me, DJ Jesse J.
Hey, what's happening?
DJ Jesse J. All right, guys, so we're going to get into it shortly, but first we want to tell you what happened with the Buzz-O-Meter last week. So we talked about Chocolate City. That was a movie, for those of you guys that don't know. Mm-hmm. And we were wondering, did anybody see it, and where'd you find it? Well, y'all voted, and 95% of y'all didn't go see it because you couldn't find it, I would assume. Mm-hmm. Did you guys see it?
No.
Is that the stripper movie?
Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah, I gotta go see it.
Yeah, with Robert Richard and Tyson Beckford, and nobody got to see it because really it literally was only in 2 theaters in the greater Southern California area. Yeah. So, and apparently that was the case nationwide. So, sorry guys, Chocolate City. I mean, if you have on demand, apparently I think it's still on there.
You can get it on demand.
You can get it on demand.
Or you can go to the Boom Boom Room and see it live.
Oh,
I get,
that too. That would be lovely. But try to find it.
They don't let men like me in there. I'll have to Caitlyn Jenner.
We'll have our own. Oh, you could. You could be a pretty
Put your
girl.
dress on for
Put
the
your
day.
dress on for the
Right.
day. But you guys find it on demand. Eventually a DVD, I'm sure, will be out. Try to keep supporting them regardless because we love them and we appreciate them. All right, so this week we want to know a little something about what you think again, because we're going to talk a little bit later about some things going on social media and what the Supreme Court has decided about social media. So we want to know, do you think social media threats should be taken more seriously? Yes or no? So make sure you go to blackhollywoodlive.com, get your vote in so we can know what you think. But now we're going to go on into our trending topics with DJ Jesse J.
Well, Tom Hanks' son is in the news.
Oh, God.
Who is Tom Hanks' son?
His name is Chet. And basically he's in a rap group. And on his Instagram, he had posted a picture of him and his homie. His friend is black, and he was leaned up against a wall, and under the picture he said something along the lines of chilling with my, and then he dropped the N-word on Instagram. Instagram, Twitter, everyone went ham like, the hell is this boy just using this word? And, he came out to say, look, the N-word is a quiet conversation, that is to be talked about between you and your friends. Then he came out to say, hip-hop isn't about race, it's about the culture you identify with. So now there's this conversation of, is this okay, is this not? I mean, Chet comes from a very privileged family, like to even sit there and say that. I mean, he graduated from Northwestern, I believe, too.
Oh
so
God!
To
he
sit
went to
there,
my school, I'm embarrassed.
So to sit there and say, because someone was vouching for the fact of like, well, in this day and age, some kids just hear it, and they hear it so much that they feel like it's just a part of culture and whatnot. But I'm like, if you went to Northwestern, you know something about something in which you should not be.
Something.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you should not be. You've been to some movie premieres with your father in which that word has been like that. Come on.
No, you're not supposed to be saying the N-word, period. Like, people say, oh, you can say it because you're friends. No, you can't say it. Like, honestly, we shouldn't be saying it as the black culture. You know what I mean? Like, everyone should just put the word away, because if someone else says it, then it's a problem. Right. And then we're like, oh, well, she said that. No. And then all these rappers, Drake, they have nigga in every song. So when you go to a concert, I went to a Drake concert, and once they said nigga, everybody was like, nigga! And I'm looking back like, You're not supposed to be saying that.
Well, I guess it all depends on who you are. Me, I don't care. I mean, like you said, we're not supposed to be using a word, but he kind of remind me of B-Rap from Malibu Most Wanted. I thought it was hilarious. Like, you know, I would love to kick it with, you know, somebody that's not my race and they say, hey, what's up, my, you know, N-word. And I would probably crack up and die laughing.
You would have died at this karaoke bar I went to the other day. This white boy got on stage and he was singing Snoop Dogg and he was like, Mark! And everyone in the club like paused and held back like... But there was a group of people that just was like, we ain't gonna make this awkward, and they all kind of, you know what I mean?
Like, joke.
I
but
mean,
it
I
was just
understand
like,
that
girl,
part of it, but you just shouldn't be like just saying what's up. Like, I have white friends, I have all types of friends, and they say actually, I dated a Caucasian male, and he said something in the lines of talking to his other friends, stop acting like a nigga. And I was like, whoa. I am, if you didn't notice, I'm a nigga. If you want to, you know, if that's what you want to describe yourself as. But I just think that we should put the word behind us, and I think no one should be saying it.
True.
It comes from something, and it's not just a loose word that should just be used loosely. Like, it's, if you know your history, then you shouldn't be saying it, period.
But the thing is, we do say it.
We do, but we shouldn't.
Yeah, we should.
We've almost commercialized it. When it comes
was
to
he
hip
saying
hop.
it in a negative way, or was he really
No,
rapping?
he was no. It was on Instagram like, I'm chilling with my...
Yeah. It wasn't.
I'm not gonna get mad at him for that. No, no, and no. I'm chilling with my nigga. Call me my nigga. No.
What you feeling?
I mean, my opinion's been the same. We talk about this like every 2 weeks on the show. Like, can they use the N-word or not? Like, in the end, for me, it comes down to the fact that if I were a white person, I would not be fighting for the right to use the word. Because if anybody, forget the fact that black people should feel a sort of way about it. Like, for me, white people should feel another way about it because it represents something real negative from their past too. So like for me, it's just like, I wish nobody would use it. Have I slipped and used it in the past? Yes, but it's definitely not a part of my regular like speech. Do I understand the whole theory behind the fact that it's all over rap music, it's all over hip hop culture, and obviously hip hop culture is not stuck in the hood with only black people, it's all over the place. So I get why it's said and why he thinks that it should be fine with him and his friends, but I take issue with his friends for being cool with it, and I take issue with him for even wanting to say it. So I get it, I understand, I'm not stupid, I know we live in the world we live in and the music exists, like that's the fact, but I just wish we were a little more conscious than we actually are about it.
You know, for me too, it goes to the fact of just that comment about saying hip hop isn't about race, it's about the culture. There's a truth in that, but also if you really want to study the culture of hip hop and you go back to it, it does stem from a racial situation. You know what I mean? So it's like, to come from Northwestern, understand what you're saying and what you're putting out there, because I look at that like you're putting this exterior life out there, but then there's this history of where you grew up and what you did, and are you putting on a front? Is there a front with what you're saying to be just dropping this word? Now, I do understand that it's like, I get it, because growing up, most of my friends are Native American or of some sort of ethnic culture, and that word was used all the time. But my best friend is a black female, and she hates that word, and that's all I need to know. You know what I mean? So it's like, where it's cool with some of my friends, I've just learned it's just, why even fight for it? Exactly like you said.
Yeah,
why even
like,
fight
why
for
are
it?
we fighting for something so ugly? Like, it's granted that like, oh, we've reappropriated it and we've done like, dude, it's ugly. Like, that word comes from something real ugly.
I know he was fighting for it. I just thought he wanted to.
His defense of just in the fact that he wants to be able to say it, and defensively, like if people came for him and being like, he's defending his right to say it, and it's like, no, why? That's like, I don't.
So
like, I'm not mad at him.
If he can't say it, then nobody should be able to say
That's
it.
what I'm saying.
I mean, I agree. Like, I think that's the overall point.
A term of endearment with his friends.
Right. What's up, my nigga? That's how he using it. So if he can't use it, we should be able to.
That's why I said everybody, it should start within us and everyone to just put the word. You know,
let's stand up, black people. No more niggas.
Just give it up. Moving on. Move on.
Moving on from that, speaking of social media, so the Supreme Court, well, we kind of talked about this story a while back, so I'm going to read you guys something, okay? Imagine you log onto your Facebook, and you see, a post from your ex, and it reads,
I'd be like, what?
"There's one way to love you, but 1,000 ways to kill you.
Damn.
I'm not going to rest until your body is a mess, soaked in blood and dying from all the little cuts."
Killer.
Now, just a yes or no question. Would you feel
Call the
afraid
police.
if your lover posted this?
Hell
Yes.
Everyone here said yes.
Yes.
Okay, so
I'd be scared to death.
on
I would
Monday,
get-
the Supreme Court voided the conviction of Anthony Alonis, the author of that quote, who posted that about his ex-girlfriend, saying that making true threats is illegal, but making threats in jest are not. So he argued that those were lyrics and an art form of him to express his feelings towards his girlfriend. Artistically, it wasn't a real threat. It was an artistic
was a
feeling that
singer?
he had. Apparently he raps or
Okay.
something like this
On YouTube.
on his Facebook.
On his
And so-
MySpace account.
The jury based their judgment off of what's called the reasonable person standard. I can't believe that this actually exists, and I can't believe, I want to know where the fuck did these jurors grow up that they think this is reasonable, because they basically, the reasonable person standard is, if you were to ask a reasonable person if they received this, would they be afraid? I just asked y'all, and I know all three of y'all are reasonable fucking people. I know I'm a real reasonable person. I read that, and I was like, if someone sent that to me, the police would know, a couple of my uncles would know, and you'd be getting a knock on your
And I
fucking
get
door.
turned on when a man talk to me like that, but that's on a whole that's on a whole nother level. I'm forwarding this
I dare you.
to the president. And I ain't trying to kill you.
Oh my
That ain't getting by me.
So, but to ask
Go
you,
from
but
there.
it was me stomping too
like,
hard. But
Knocking on the door.
I know I seen Insidious last night. But to ask y'all, because you guys are part of the reality world, you guys have a lot of Twitter followers, like, you know, with social commentary.
I mean,
is it to take care of? How do you weigh that out? Like, is this something that we should take a little more seriously?
I came from Bad Girls Club, so we get crazy people on our page, and I think that it gets a little bit too crazy because I've had people literally say, I want to kill you, or I want to do this, and I'm like, should I take this serious, or should I threat, like, you know, and I'm always like, okay, sometimes I feel bad to go into the block and then push abusive content, and yes, it scared me, because I think these people are crazy, but then I realized half of these little kids are kids, under 15, rather, from my page. I just think it should be taken very serious, because if something happened, then what happens after if somebody gets killed? Then they're like, oh, we didn't look into it.
Right.
They need to look into that stuff.
you
It's
feel,
deep.
Ollie?
I'm with her on that. I get threats all the time. Because
Girl.
when I did
Oh,
to
my.
one of the girls on the show, and I'm like, relax, baby. It's not that serious.
They hate you. It's
Yeah.
like, I'll kill you. I hate you.
And in my head, I'll be like, girl, we filmed that about
Right.
like 7 to 8 months ago. Are
Ain't
you
no one
serious?
thinking
For
about
mine,
that.
it was
Doesn't
4
matter,
years
yeah.
ago, and it's still,
And
I'm
they're
like,
still like that.
Yeah.
I hate you. I'll kill you. Okay.
So, Courtney,
Well,
how
it
do you
seems
balance
like
it
that
out?
one, I feel like that is slightly out of context, because I feel like there's obviously details we aren't privy to right now, just based on, like, we get the general breakdown of what happened, because based on the justification that they use with this reasonable person, whatever, I don't know to what degree he was a musician. I don't know to what degree, if it was your ex, then you know them, and if she knew he was a musician and a writer, like, that may weigh a little differently, and maybe that's why that meant something, because, like, just hearing it, like, raw, like, some dude that she used to date posted, like, I mean, if he was just a plumber and posted that, like, I might be a little concerned. But if he is for real, like, an artist that regularly writes and writes crazy
a
stuff,
real artist.
I would be
Eminem.
Okay, Eminem wrote that about
Exactly, he wrote
Kim.
about
kill
Kim.
you.
I'm talking about really, like, I'm talking about
And
putting her
he
in the
made
trunk of a
the
car.
song about it. So, like,
About his mother.
There is some legitimacy to that, and I think there's more details that we just, if we knew the other details, it would make a little bit more sense, because that just feels like way out of context that it was just that simple.
Run, girl, he gonna kill you.
Yeah, like,
I would still be very cautious and probably take some gun classes and some knife classes.
unfriend him.
Yes. And unfriend him and unfollow him.
Maybe you should keep him as a friend, because that might make him go over
watch
the
all your-
edge.
No.
I done
Watch all
unfollowed
his
some people,
moves.
and they are crazy. You unfollow me.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
It gets deep when you unfollow.
Right, that's why I just
Oh, wow.
If you there, you grandfathered in, y'all.
Oh, okay.
Just block them.
Well, so that's all we have for that. But make sure you guys head over to our sister site, AfterBuzz TV, whatever your favorite TV show is. As soon as it's done, head over to AfterBuzz TV, and we'll be over there talking about it.
Oh, thank you so much, Jesse. That was so insightful and such wonderful information. All right, so let's talk about some gossip from this week. Yeah,
I got that for
Camila's
you.
got the gossip
What's
on
the
the end
tea?
right now. What's
Yes,
up?
the tea is. Have you guys seen the Vanity Fair magazine?
Yeah.
Of course.
And you guys know it used to be Bruce Jenner, but now his name is Caitlyn Jenner. KK. I think it's cute because Caitlyn actually has a.
Call me Caitlyn.
He's doing so many amazing things. Vanity Fair put him on the cover, and that is like a big thing for the magazine world and fashion industry. Very huge. And he's looking gorgeous as a 65-year-old man, woman, or as I should say, Caitlyn.
What did you guys think about the name
I thought it
that
was
she chose, Caitlyn?
Look at Kendall, Caitlyn, Kim Kardashian. I mean, it all works
I
together.
want it to be like a badder name.
Yeah.
I mean, the way he
Caitlyn's
was
really
taking forever
delicate.
to announce it, I thought it was just gonna be just bomb. Like
Sasha.
It's
Like
soft,
Sasha.
Caitlyn.
I was just waiting
Waiting
for
for
it. They
something,
said
yeah.
Caitlyn, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I know a Caitlyn, you know. So
That ain't
she
shit.
actually kind of looks like Janet Dickinson. Is that how you say
Yeah.
her
That's,
name?
yeah,
Back in the
Janet
days.
Dickinson, yeah.
Yes. Well, not only Vanity Fair, but he also has some other things going on, which is like a reality show, 6 episodes, docu-series. So if you guys want to check in on him and see his whole operation and how it changes his life and what he thinks about it, and Kim and everybody a part of the family, what they have to say about it, it gets really deep.
Well, so I was nosy, and so I had to go see who supported him. So I went on everyone's Twitter pages, and what's the son's name? The Jenner son,
Brody.
was the only one that didn't post like something about it that day. He did post when the interview came out. He did post like, I'm supporting you on this journey. I just thought it was interesting because the day the magazine came out, all the Kardashians posted something. The Jenner girls posted it, and he didn't. And I was like, because my conspiracy theory had, I'm like, I love this and I want to believe in it. Actually, I had a conversation with my father today, which random. But my dad had told me, he was like, no, you know what? It's hard for me to, because it's coming from the Kardashians, to believe if it's real. He said, but I was friends with someone, and he was a part of a band. He was like, I was friends with someone, and out of nowhere, he had a wife, kids. What seemed like out of nowhere, he came out as a woman, and this was something he had been dealing with for a long time. So as shocking as this, because I said to my dad, like, Dad, this was so shocking. Like, he's like, as much as I think it's shocking and it is the Kardashians, like, I personally know somebody who 20 years of knowing them, and then all of a sudden one day they come out and they're like, call me this. It's like, well, all right.
Well, for Caitlyn, I think that it really becomes like, is it real or is it fake? Because the Kardashians, he is tied to Kardashians, so it's an agenda. Is it something that, is it real? Because honestly, I feel like he should have came out 65 years ago before he even came out the womb and just told the Lord, hey, I want to be a woman. But I think he should.
Told the Lord, yes.
It was harder back then, though.
I agree. It was harder back then, and I think we're coming to a time where we're accepting more. Yeah. But I also feel like he's not going to be able to express himself as much as he would have been able to in the 40s or 30s.
Oh, honey, he's expressing himself more than a lot of motherfuckers be expressing themselves.
He might be on like 500 by the time now that this has come out, and then he about to be on the red carpet. Like, we don't know what we're going to see from Caitlyn. She might go wild, okay?
Well, they said he's worth way more than he was when he was Bruce.
Oh, yeah. He apparently went from being able to make $25,000 per speech, because he would do motivational speeches, and I'm pretty sure the number they said now he's up to $200,000 for a speech. So
get me some titties.
He's not.
Well,
if that's all it took, we'd be millionaires up in here.
But for Caitlyn to come out and just, he stopped the internet, because my whole timeline was Caitlyn.
Yeah.
Okay, but when we think about Michael Jackson, years ago, when he was coming out, people bashed him. People didn't, they didn't even want to understand what Michael was going on. So do you think by the Caitlyn and the Michael Jackson thing, do you think it plays a effect in society today? Like, as far as like acceptance, because we just pushed Michael Jackson to the side and
Like,
called him a
because
racist.
he's a white
Right.
male
He
and we've
has-
grown up with him and we've seen him, he was the world's strongest man, and then all of a sudden, you know, we love the Kardashians and it's like, oh my God, Bruce, like, and we've always felt bad for Bruce, and like, it's like, so, where Michael Jackson was like, Michael Jackson, the #1 performer in the world, then all of a sudden the media turns him into this rape monster, and it's like, oh, he wants to be a woman, but he's still, fucks with these girls and he has kids, and it's like Beauty and the Beast, he's up in this fucking palace and never can come out. He comes out with like cloths over him because he's just afraid of fucking people. You know, it gets to a point of like, who does this? Is this the media that's making it okay? Because like Laverne Cox, we were talking about
Laverne
that.
Cox, yeah.
I've just always looked at Laverne Cox as like a woman. I've never like looked at Laverne Cox like any type of science experiment or like, you know what I mean? Or like, oh girl, you have issues. Like, I've always accepted her as like, that's what you are, that's what you are. It's a little harder to do that.
Well, because we've seen, we got to know Bruce, what
As
they wanted
Bruce.
us to know
Punk
as
Bruce.
Bruce.
He was a punk as Bruce.
Yeah, we got him to know
punk.
Bruce, and we all felt something for Bruce, whatever that was. He was a punk. We felt empathy. Chris is mean to him, like whatever. And then to find out that he'd been having this struggle inside of him, I think it changes how people I think that the Michael Jackson thing is kind of a separate entity, because it's not like he tried to come out in his own truth and be like, I don't know what, I'm asexual and I would never, whatever. Like, it was quiet and strange, and he never really said, and he let the talk be the talk, and he didn't want to clear anything up or change anything other than like when he was found not
But
guilty
what
and
do
all of
you-
that.
His kids, like they're doing a good job by saying, yeah, I accept this, Dad, and but to me, it's like
I
I
would
don't think
struggle.
I don't think-
No,
I
are
could
they?
be able
His
to-
youngest daughter has lip injections. She's half naked on
They
covers.
off the
Like,
chain.
But I think it's more so for the kids like North and Penelope and everything that's like, Granny, Grandpa, that kind of is
Grandpa's
kind of
gone.
strange, and it's like in a way to
Yeah.
to have to explain to your grandbabies, Grandpa's not here anymore, but Grandma Caitlyn is here. You know,
And he keeps saying he free. Free of what?
That's
You
what-
gotta look at your kids every day and still recognize that I'm really a man. Like, your sperm did that.
Well, for him, he's thinking he is a woman. So the freedom
So
is
wait,
in
he
not
still have
trying
his
to
piece?
hide.
That's what I just-
well, he said he
debate.
wasn't going
He
to
said
tell
he
anybody.
wasn't going to tell anybody.
He said you would never know. You'll just pop up and
Pop
he's
up and
gonna
he'd have
and you'll
it.
have it, but you'll never know because clearly no one's gonna know who's having sex with Bruce or
Right.
Caitlyn.
Yeah.
But this
well, he
leads-
says he's never had sex with a man and that he still wants to have relations with a woman.
awkward
I mean,
to me.
That's
I just,
out. That's
I'm like, but moving on, it's
Oh, I would
showing
love to have a conversation with him.
it's showing him being courageous, and by that he's getting an award. Rumored that he's going to be getting an ESPYs award, a Courage Award, and it's a little controversy because instead
are the
of Lauryn
ESPYs?
Hill,
When are they?
In
July
July,
15th,
yeah.
I believe.
And so we just making this announcement like that. I can't. Maybe next year, but like all of a sudden now, like who
well,
were they
they
going to give
pulled
it to?
They were going to give it to Lauryn Hill,
Wait, what?
not
Wait.
Lauryn Hill, the rapper.
I was like, I'm really confused.
Right, what's she doing,
Lauryn
the javelin or
Lauryn
something
Hill
now?
has like a prosthetic, I believe, a prosthetic leg
Okay.
and a handicapped person.
Okay.
And they pulled it from her to give
That
it
is messed
to
up.
Caitlyn Jenner for being for having
Courageous.
courageous in being.
I mean, I don't
They
know
just
why
want the
I don't know why you
ratings.
got to get an award. They want the ratings. I think that is the
yeah, of
case.
course it's going to bring ratings.
Because this may not be
Because
hot
a lot
next
of
year.
people do a lot of
it's
courage things in the
probably
world,
not.
and
Yeah, this is gonna pass. I mean, he's
It's
gonna
so
do
fucked
the
up.
thing, and the sad part to me,
They really just said they basically just said the handicapped girl will be here next year. So let's just
Right.
this is in right
that's
now.
so sad.
Because he
That's so
decided
sad.
he wanted a cooch, so he gets an award.
he
That's
doesn't
no.
want a cooch.
he doesn't want to cooch, but he doesn't. It gets confusing.
He want a cooch. You want to be a woman. He's gonna eventually have. That's the cooch. I'm looking at.
He is a woman. He was a woman in his brain for 65 years.
Well, you know what?
And now he's
sometimes I'm
free to-
Beyonce, so be who you
You
want to be.
know?
Okay.
No,
Be
and
a girl.
That's what I'm totally for supporting. You know what I mean? Like if this is what you want to be in your life, and you,
If it makes you
and you
happy.
can physically make it work with your situation
coming out on
and your
Vanity
people and all that.
Fair,
But that's where I get
doing
bothered
the
by it, you know?
series, yeah.
But then it's like, okay, well, look at this group of people goes through all these things, then talk about those issues. Talk about the transgendered people that get kicked out of their
Right.
house, that get beat
Talk
up
about
by
the
their
real
parents.
stuff.
Talk about those. Don't talk about, oh, you know, I had this internal problem my whole life. That's great, and I'm glad that you're speaking your truth. But if you're going to do this and you're going to stand up for all of, you know, a culture, because by doing this, you're standing up for a demographic. And so if you're going to do that, make sure you understand what all of their issues are, and make sure that you can put money towards that, because I from what I know is that his money has gone to anti-gay
He's a Republican.
situations and
Yeah.
whatnot. And
But
so,
he's not
but
gay.
and I get it. You know what I
Right,
mean?
that's the confusing
No,
part.
but here's the thing: if you grew up in that time and you represented a specific thing, I understand you internally saying like, okay, I have to play these parts. But now you're out. So switch that over from Republican to Democrat. I mean, you know what I mean? Or and stand for what you believe in. If you believe that this is how people need to understand other people, then stand up for that culture. That's all I want to see. I don't want to see you in the fucking new dresses and all this fucking
You got Jesse
glamour.
going.
I'm serious, because
No,
it's
I
just
see
like
it.
it's all we're glamorizing it, and it's like that's
It's
fine
really
to do
fun.
that,
It's
but
real
let's
issues
talk about
going
the
down.
problems.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the
Problems.
issues, because there are people dying out there,
is, yes.
and we're sitting up here like, oh, she's so pretty. Like, no, let's
Well, what
talk
do you
about
think of the
it.
rumor of him
Sorry.
taking his gold medal?
That's fucked up too.
Well, they're saying
There's
that
rumor.
no, it is rumored, because I read about that too. It was saying that he is going to get it pulled. They're trying to pull it because at the time he was a man, and if he's saying that he was a woman from way back then, they need to revoke it because That's what they're saying. They're going to revoke it because he says in his mind that he was a woman, and that award is for a male. So if you thought that you were
But
a
he was born a
right,
man.
so
At
it's
the
confusing.
time when he won that medal, he was a fucking man. Sit your ass down. Y'all want to give him a fucking
Right.
courage award now,
Right.
so shut up.
Well, speaking of
I
courage
can't.
awards and beauty and everything,
And wait, didn't
he
you say
is
his mom and dad didn't want still want to call him Bruce?
His mom and dad also just wanted to. I mean, they don't want to call him Caitlyn.
Yeah,
because
I
they
was
said
rolling.
they said that we named you Bruce, so we have the right to continue to call you Bruce, and I think that's fair.
I'm torn with it.
I popped you out this cooch.
I get it.
Right.
I named you Bruce.
and
You're
I'm gonna call
Bruce.
you Bruce.
I
On
get
your
it.
birth certificate, it say Bruce Jenner with a male. And even though you want to be looked at as a woman, that could be fine. But I'm your mother.
Yeah.
Just like his dad or not dad. What's his son's name?
Brody.
Brody.
Like, he probably wants to accept it, but who wants to accept your dad coming out on national television and pretending
But I
to
look
be
at
a
that
woman?
like my family doesn't. For the longest time, I struggled between me and my family of them accepting that I was gay, and the conversation was always church, religion, die. You know, what's your soul gonna do, and all this. And it gets to a point of like, okay, I get that from under 18. I'm living in your household. Now I'm a grown man, and I have made my decision. I am this person. So now, on a respect level, you have to respect internally what you did not know. I did come out your cooch, but you did
Right.
not know what I was going through up in that bedroom in that household, because you didn't want to have that discussion with me. So that's fine that you want to call me this. So that's where I see both sides of it. It's like almost like I get it, and you want to hold on to that. And that's still there, but it's like right now is this person in my life, and this is where I want to. I don't know.
Okay, so when
Mine
you
is
dress up as
Bruce's-
Bruce or Caitlyn, am I supposed to call you Caitlyn, Bruce? Like when you dress like
He's gonna be Caitlyn going forward.
period.
Oh, so
It's
period,
not
he
like
is
his
all
dress.
Caitlyn.
He's
just like
woman.
you have
He's a
to.
Caitlyn.
He wants to be referred to as a she,
As she,
her.
etc. But in mom's defense, Bruce is 65. That
Yeah.
means mama got to be about 85.
Yeah.
I'm not. My mama don't remember my name, and she's not that old. So
Right.
like, I would just leave it at the level like, there's no way she's ever gonna get in her psyche to always
calling
call you
Caitlyn,
Caitlyn
right.
anyway. So just.
Well,
Goodness, girl.
speaking of him
That's
being
too much.
beautiful on Vanity Fair, he is rumored to be getting a new Viva Glammed contract from
Yes,
MAC
MAC
Cosmetics.
That's crazy.
So he is like doing it up right now.
And you know he gonna get paid
Cash
for
and
that
checks.
one.
Oh, he's cashing checks and checks on checks. So it leads back to agenda, and then it goes back to like, are you guys doing this for all the money?
That's what I always. But at the same time,
because
like,
this is a great publicity stunt.
But this is what he does for money. Like, he knows how the machine works. He's been with the Kardashians all this time. Why shouldn't he capitalize on it?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's
Capitalize.
just hard to believe it just because it's coming from the Kardashians.
Yeah.
That's the only reason for
like
me.
you mean hard to believe that he really wanted to do this, or hard to believe that
he wanted to do it
publicized
this
so
way.
much.
that he wanted to do it this way?
Yes. And I don't like to take it so authentically and take it so like
Chris definitely has
to
some
really
of the part
put
of this.
all of my empathy
Well,
into him.
they say she mad because she has had no part of it.
Oh, really?
Oh.
That he went off and got a different PR person and a
He
different
been
manager.
taking
He's
notes
been taking
from
a lot of
that
notes for
Kris
years,
Jenner.
so.
That was
Well, let me
rumored
just say he's looking
weeks ago.
better than Chris.
He owed her that. He should have let her be manager. That's wrong, Caitlyn.
He probably feel like he's been under her wing
That's
for
what a
years.
bitch
Yeah,
you know?
that's true.
He got- no, and a bitch. He didn't put the K.
Oh,
He said
well,
K.
yeah, he
Caitlyn.
said he wanted to be a separate entity and he didn't want it to be about the Kardashians. He wanted to be separate. But what's interesting is that when you were talking about the brothers and the Jenner side, his 4 Jenner kids, apparently none of them are supposed to be participating in this docuseries at all because they were upset, word on the street, because he stuck with E! Networks and the same producers that did
As, Kim
Keeping Up with the
Kardashian.
Kardashians. And they felt like if he was really trying to do like a nice, they feel like basically it's going to be a
To exploit
fiasco
it.
and to exploit it, not to actually be doing a documentary type level work.
Well, speaking of that, Mac, we have another juicy, gossipy situation that's going on,
Juicy,
which is
juicy.
Rihanna. She is spotted out with her new boo, Kareem Benzema, soccer player in NYC at 3 a.m., coming from a restaurant.
Wait, look at this photo.
And let me tell you, he is something scrumptious, honey, because
He
I Googled his
is.
name and I was like, Kareem.
Kareem.
He has body, he is tall, and he is Rihanna's, honey.
International soccer
Internationally
star.
known.
Are we sure? Because she's always with a guy. Like,
Well, she's good for smashing and passing, but we're
Yeah.
going to let her have this one because
But
she needs.
usually when she's smashing past, we
There's
don't
some good
really,
ones.
we don't,
Leonardo
and they're
DiCaprio.
good, and we hear about it after the fact sometimes. But but this one, I mean, y'all was hanging out. Went to
3
breakfast,
a.m.
3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning.
In the morning.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all.
Right,
I
like
like
they
this a
can't be
lot.
talking about, oh, it's just a meeting, like, girl, bye.
Well, Leonardo got a new girlfriend, so she's like, hey, I'm moving on.
They all said the Leonardo thing wasn't real anyway.
Yeah.
He likes black girls, though, for sure.
I mean, he likes,
he
whatever.
was cute too.
He's cute, too.
Really?
But Leonardo has that actor, like.
Girl, the only time I
All I
wanted to
look
do
at him is
anything
at
with Leonardo
Titanic.
was that.
Never wanna know
No, you
Leo.
remember that movie, The Beach?
No.
Yeah.
He was on?
I
That's
do.
the only movie I ever would, like, fuck Leonardo off.
Yeah. No.
Other than that, he tired.
And especially now
Yeah,
because
he fat,
he's like
yeah,
daddy
so-
body, like he's soft and jiggly.
I'll take you,
It's not-
Leonardo.
I
Right.
After,
Sure.
after
Look at my
Django,
eyes.
I'm like, I'll take you, boo.
I'll be
And
real.
all of those.
I'd
curves
be
and
seeing
acting
Colonel
skills you
Mustard
have.
from Django all the
You're
time. with him.
ridiculous. Colonel
Right.
Mustard from Django.
Yeah,
All right.
recognize.
Well, is that all of our gossip for
That
the
is
week?
all of our gossip
Camila?
for the week.
Thank you so much. All right. Well, while you're at home gossiping and downloading us, make sure you're downloading us on iTunes and giving us ratings and giving us comments and letting us know how we're doing. Let us know across the network because we got a lot of shows for you guys. We got The Beat with DJ Jesse J. We got Fashion 411, which Camila was on earlier.
Yes.
And we have Black Tea Party and Geek.Nerd.Tech. I said Greek because you're sitting next to me. Geek.Nerd.Tech. Check them all out. We have a variety of programming, all to reach all of you out there and your interests. So let us know what we're doing well and what we're not doing so well, and we try to get better every time. So after you do that, we're going to now talk about some serious stuff that maybe should have been in the news a little bit more than Miss Caitlyn. But I didn't say that. Okay, so this week, guys, in the news, in some news, if you really look for it, Mr. Akon is getting a little bit of press about some really amazing work that he is doing across the continent of Africa. For those of you that don't know, Akon is a recording artist and writer, producer. He's Senegalese American, so he obviously has a personal relationship with the continent of Africa. And he is not a performer / rich man who is celebrity that is not willing to give back, because he is giving back in a multitude of ways. So he has this amazing program that he launched called Akon Lighting Africa, and it's an initiative designed to bring electricity to millions of Africans using solar energy. Basically what they're doing is installing solar street lamps and domestic solar panels in over 1 million households in 14 different African countries. So there's a new phase of the program that just started, actually, I think this week, and he calls it the Solar Academy, and it's taking place in Bamako, which is Mali's capital, and they're actually teaching engineers that are in Africa that live there to continue the program and to be able to build the infrastructure and the things that they need to put up solar energy. So not only is he giving electricity to the freaking continent, but he's giving clean electricity to the continent. So it's eco-friendly, and he's teaching so that they can help themselves. And he's been doing lots of things in Africa for years that a lot of us, at least I will speak for myself, did not know about. And he just thinks that Africa is obviously a wealth of everything, and that he specifically believes that America has just taken advantage of Africa and not paid much attention to it in the way that they should have. And there's no reason why Africa can't make their own come up and make it happen, because they still are super rich in all of the resources and lots of things. So he's going to help over 600 million Africans get access
now that's
to
some
electricity.
news, some good news.
Okay.
Yes. And for those of y'all that don't know, not having electricity maybe don't sound like a big deal to some of y'all.
Oh, yes,
but
it is.
if anybody been in an outage, I had an outage on my block for like 2 days, and
candles don't work.
Freaking out.
Those candles burn.
Candles suck.
Food, it's
Food,
you
all
gotta
of it.
figure
So
all
it's
that
being able to keep communities with food. Kids can do their freaking homework when it gets dark, which they're not able to do right now. There's been accidents because they have to use like kerosene lamps and like horrible things that let off toxic fumes and stuff like that. So it's just like a health and all around like community issue that he is really taking the lead on.
Hey, Con, you better Ben Franklin Africa.
Is it
High
true
five.
that Obama tweeted
Ooh.
Caitlyn
Yeah.
and not
Caitlyn.
Akon?
Yes, it is.
I was so for you, Obama.
Yeah.
That was like a slap in the face. If you're gonna shout somebody out, why not do Akon?
Because I think Obama is more like the face of what they want. I don't even think he's able to say how he really feels about things. But that's another topic.
Well, I've always said that I think Obama's most effectiveness will come after being president.
Yeah,
so
of course.
We'll see what happens. But shout out to Akon. Also, I just want to mention he also did a Peace One Day concert in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And for those of you that don't know, Congo is going through some real stuff right now. And so in addition to like trying to bring economic survival to the continent, peace obviously is another huge issue on the
That
continent.
concert, everyone was talking mad shit about him out here in America because that whole Ebola thing had happened.
Yeah.
And so Akon, at all of his concerts, he does that EDM kind of hip hop,
Music.
R&B, and he goes in this bubble. Which, if you've ever been to an EDM concert, that's very normal. People be bouncing around. And so, what did everyone do? They took that. Here's the one artist who didn't cancel his tour and went out there and still performed for these people. And then everyone turned it into, oh, he's doing that because he doesn't want to get Ebola, and they turned it into something kind of negative.
Well, didn't Ebola come and go? Like,
Right? Where is that
Ebola
now?
where's
came
Ebola
and
now?
went. Where did
Like,
it go?
That's another
Like,
whole.
what was the white powder in the mail that everyone was?
Anthrax. Oh,
That
gosh.
was active. So yeah, all the things that are going on in this lovely country that we know nothing about, or what we should know about because we don't have access, or we don't make the time to make the access. Here's
Go
one of
Akon.
them. Congratulations, Akon. Not
Yes.
congratulations to our freaking Justice Department. So we've been talking about all the police shootings and the deaths that have been in the news of men of color across the country. And one of the things that has come out of all of this mess is that there really is no legitimate source of statistical information for police departments across this country and who's dying, who's killing, who's shooting, who's not. The only information that is like regularly kept about police shootings is if a person is shot in the midst of doing a felony or killed, that information is apparently reported to the FBI. But otherwise, we had nothing. Literally no information.
Wow.
Shocking as that sounds, in
thought we did. I don't
2015, nobo's collecting the data. How do we have a whole Justice Department that's supposed to be devoted
I can't
to
even get my car fixed from the judicial system.
Like, this makes no sense. Makes absolutely no sense.
They
So
hit me.
we've talked about that before, but this week Congress came to work.
Oh. They put a little planogram together.
They put a little planogram
Because when the
together.
heat gets heated.
They introduced a bill, two Democratic senators, one from California, Senator Barbara Boxer, and Cory Booker from New Jersey, have put together a bill, basically. It's called the PRIDE Act, basically. That stands for Police Reporting of Information, Data, and Evidence Act. And basically, this bill would require states to report to the Justice Department any time a law enforcement officer is involved in a shooting and any instance where an officer or a civilian is seriously hurt or killed as a result of the use of force. even reading this, I'm like, do we really not already have this in place?
That's really crazy.
Really, we have to wait for this to go through Congress and get approved and get
Right.
signed by the president. And God knows how many people have already died,
Right.
like because of it. But basically, they put it out there, and Barbara Boxer actually said, "quote, too many members of the public and police officers are being killed, and we don't have reliable statistics to track these tragic incidents. This bill will ensure that we know the full extent of the problem, so we can save lives on all sides."
The problem is y'all shoot before y'all even know what's going on. It's like they just want to shoot you.
Same.
I've had friends that have, gotten killed by police, and it's not aired on television because clearly it's like Compton ducked off, but it's sad, that I have friends that I know that are in these situations and they can't even walk down the street with a phone in their pocket and take it out because they think it's a gun. It goes back to set it off.
Yeah.
And on like that kind of style. It's like, it's really sad. And to have friends that go through that every day is just,
I'm
it
mad that
sucks.
they haven't been reporting it. Like,
It's not a requirement.
But
There is
They
no-
report,
like-
they barely want to make reports when they have an accident.
That's true. Because I can't stand having to go down to a police station and fill out a report. I'm like, sir, what are you doing? What is your job? You just want to be on the phone right now? Who are you even fucking talking to? An old woman with a fucking cat? Like, hello, this
Yeah.
person robbed me.
Yeah.
They robbed me. Like what you're talking about on the fucking phone, or they be sitting there trying to make. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm
Just
just
like
going
my
off
situation.
personal situations, and that is not everybody in the law enforcement world. I'm not coming at y'all, but I'm just saying, if it's happened to me more than once or twice or 3 times, you know what I mean. I'm gonna vent about it, and
You're gonna vent about it. That's fair enough. It should be a vent because in the end, what's to me the scariest part of this whole situation is that not only are we not getting the information or haven't had the information for all these years, but there are so many people that are regular citizens that don't believe or realize or thought or it ever even occurred to them that it is a problem.
Yes.
Y'all, and it's actually really making me
huge.
start thinking about things because now I'm thinking about times I have gone down to the police station and things that they've really said. No, honestly,
No, seriously, me too, in my
I've been
car.
robbed, and I went down to the police station. I didn't go down to the police station. I filled out the report over the phone, and this motherfucker then told me. I said, "Well, can you send that to me because I need it?" You know what I mean? He was like, "No, if you don't come get it down
If you
by
don't pay the
today."
$10, yeah. It's up.
No, he said, I mean, it's here. If you don't come down and get it, it just goes in a pile of all these yellow slips, and then by the end of the week, it'll be thrown out. Did you just tell me that my police report, like, so what do you do with it? And that blew my mind. So this is like, and that's just about like a little like, oh my God, they robbed my car. Like,
Right.
hello, people are dying. That's
Well, it's funny because we always talk about conspiracy theories here.
sure it is.
And as I was reading about all of this stuff, the conspiracy theory in my mind is that don't call me crazy, y'all.
I won't.
But it's just a continued effort of the actual federal government to extinguish people of color. Because if you tell me who are the people that are getting shot,
Us.
I mean the numbers are not really equal.
Right, it's like-
So it's interesting that for all this time, and it's not, even going back to like civil rights movement in the 60s, like we obviously knew that police departments were a problem since then. And it's not news that civil rights activists have always sort of been like, we need some kind of reporting, we need some kind of reporting, we need some kind of reporting. But this is government sanctioned choice to look the other way because brown people are being shot and killed. So it bodes to say that I'm not sure that any people of color are safe in this country.
We're not.
Ever, or can be ever, because this whole Obama's president.
what did Michael Jackson say? All I really want to say, they don't really care about us. And that's
seriously.
real.
For real.
I'm saying they don't give a damn about us black people.
It's kind of sad.
It's very sad.
It's kind of sad after all this time.
But when people don't
Don't
know their
let you be
history, they don't know
Native
what's going
American.
on,
Well, we will keep
you
watching.
in the
Hopefully
woods.
this bill actually makes it through.
It should already be passed, like, right now.
It's one of those
It shouldn't
things
even have to go
why
past
we
it
talking
through.
We gotta discuss it. We gotta debate
We got
it.
Fruitvale.
Oh, we don't like that.
Like, we
No.
done let this man who wanted to cut his wife, soak her in blood, and all the little cuts run around like it ain't nothing. Talking about reasonable doubt. Like,
My thing is protect and serve, and we don't even feel protected by the people that we're supposed to be protected by, because honestly, I would trust some stranger before I trust the cop.
Yeah. Well, just so y'all know, just for a number to stay
Straight
in your
up.
head as we move along from this. In 2015, so far, The Guardian has been actually trying to keep track of some statistics themselves. 2015, y'all, it's June. It's been 6 months. They believe, based on the information that they have gathered, that the U.S. police have shot and killed at least 385 people across this country. That means 2.5 people a day are being shot and killed by the police.
Now, is there a specific race or just in general?
That
is
385?
In general, according to a Washington Post estimate, and then The Guardian obviously puts it a little bit higher. They think it's 408. But regardless, like, we don't know is the point.
They
Like,
don't
we
keep
don't
track
know
of it.
who. Why? What?
when, where, why?
Was it a cousin on the street that didn't have the right cookies? Like, we have no idea.
Isn't that the first thing we like learned in like kindergarten? Who, what, when, where, why. If you're gonna write a damn biography, you're gonna write a fucking something. Who, what, when, where, why. Who, what, when, where, why.
Right.
I hated that.
I know.
I used to be like,
Just
who, what, when,
Write up a situation. But anyway, so there you go, guys. Get to your representatives. Let them know that you actually want this in place and that
Yes.
it's something that we need, because we actually can do that. You actually can write a letter to your state representatives and you can sign it yourself and you can mail it to their office. You can also call their offices. You can Google
I
it.
shouldn't have to write a letter.
You actually
Google
should,
it.
You
because
should.
that is the basis
No,
of
you're
what
right.
this country is.
You're right. You
That is-
shouldn't, because that's common
what
sense.
this country
but
is.
That at the end of the day,
Because
it is.
and then you even in what you just said, that they don't really care about us. They don't care about us
don't.
because we have no effect on anything that runs their world. So as long as our money doesn't mean anything and we don't let our voices mean anything, we're not going to be able to do anything. So we gotta call them. We gotta write them.
Because
We
think about
gotta
it.
email them.
Them little old white women, they calling.
I don't like these people were making
But that's
noises
true.
in
That's
the
who
city.
that's who
You're
makes noise, and those are the people that go to the polls, and
You're
that's
right.
what makes that. And their tax dollars mean more because they are having a higher tax
right.
bracket, so that's what makes it count. And people get upset, like, well, they're not paying attention to my neighborhood because they have no reason to. You're not putting money in their pocket. You're not giving them the job. Like, you've not made noise and made them uncomfortable. Make them uncomfortable, y'all. That's all.
Oh,
I
we
gotta
make
say.
we make them uncomfortable. They sure do get on their toes, don't they?
Make them uncomfortable, and make them uncomfortable before we have to get to the point of rioting and burning shit down and doing all that.
I can't believe it.
It sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Because it seems like human nature would be to protect like people,
Everyone?
because everybody,
Human beings?
but that's not
No.
the case, and it never has been. So why should it suddenly just be because it should be? So there you go. I'm done preaching. Sorry, y'all. I got off my soapbox.
No, we had a whole soapbox day.
I know it was a day of soapboxery. So
This was Dr. Phil. Mixed in with a
So
little
if you liked our soapboxery or you didn't like our soapboxery, let us know. You can actually also go, because if you are a real true viewer that loves us, we need your information. We're doing a little survey over at podcast1.com. Go over there, just answer a few questions about what we got going on. Give us some comments. Let us know what's happening, what you feel about what we're talking about and what we're doing. And we would appreciate it so greatly because we love you. But other than that, you can find us during the week at other places on social media. Before she takes a drink, Camilla, where are you at?
You can find me on Twitter at I am Camila P, and my Instagram is The Real Camila P.
And Ms. Lolly, where can they find you?
Lollywood. The O's in wood are zeros, and on Twitter, Lollywood, same.
And
Boom.
DJ Jesse.
Y'all can follow me at DJ Jesse J, and please go to podcast1.com and fill that survey out for us. It'll help us here at Black Hollywood. So please, podcast1.com.
Please. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Stuart Starlet. Don't forget to go to our website, blackhollywoodlive.com, and vote on the buzzer meter question. The question was, do you think social media threats should be taken more seriously? We talked about that crazy dude writing that lyric on his girl's page.
Crazy.
Do you want lyrics on your page? We want to know.
Not them guys.
Let us know and vote. We can't wait to hear what
liked
you
that
think. Lolly likes
Not
it
that
like
kind
that.
of talk. Cute.
Let me grab your
I'm
neck.
about to think we about to get it on.
We about to get it
I'm
on.
about to blow my damn brains out.
Thank you for joining us here. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
Hollywood redefined.
The following is a presentation of The Incredible. The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.